With Larry away at the works getting his safety valve mended, Christian had to handle all his work. One of his jobs was to take empty hoppers to the mine. The track was old and kind of rickety. Christian had never been up there before. Christian noticed that he began to rock and roll about. He said, "This feels kind of nice." So he began to go faster and faster until he was really rocking and rolling about. He was having a wonderful time until his driver eased him off. "Christian, stop being silly," his driver said sternly. "But this is fun," Christian replied. "It may seem fun, but it can also be dangerous. Besides, we're near the mine anyway." "Oh, all right," sighed Christian. But Christian didn't heed his driver's warning. As he loaded the hoppers, he began to make a plan. Once the hoppers were loaded, Christian set off tender first back to the main line. He purposely then began to pick up speed again. His driver tried to deter him by applying the brakes, but this time it was no use because the heavy cars were helping to force Christian down the line. "Woohoo!" he shouted. The driver was furious as he tried reducing steam. Later on, Christian arrived at his destination. He parked the loaded hoppers in a siding and then went to go collect Penny and Kennedy. "Oh, Christian, we're so glad you're here," Penny piped up. "We've been waiting to go on a nice run all day," added Kennedy. "Well, your wait is over," Christian said confidently. And once the passengers were on board, he set off. Christian's passenger run was uneventful. He was running on time, and Penny and Kennedy were enjoying themselves. Then suddenly, Christian began to miss the way to the train. Although Penny and Kennedy were only two coaches, he should have felt some kind of weight. Then, he, his driver, and his fireman all looked back at once in horror. Christian had become separated, not just from Penny and Kennedy, but his own tender. "Come back, Christian!" shrieked Penny and Kennedy. But Christian just kept going up the line all by himself. Eventually, his driver managed to apply the brakes and bring Christian to a safe stop. "What do you think happened?" Christian asked his driver. "Your tender coupling must have worked loose. I told you not to rock and roll on that mining branch line. Now look what's happened." Christian didn't reply. "So what do we do now?" the fireman quizzed. The driver then looked at Christian's gauges. "We're not that far from where we separated, and we do have enough steam. We'll just have to proceed backwards carefully to the train." Christian was a bit nervous, but he knew he had no choice. So carefully, they proceeded back down the line. Christian was relieved when he saw Penny and Kennedy in sight. And they were relieved that Christian was all right. The section crew had found the parts that were missing from Christian and brought them up to the train. As Christian, his driver, and fireman made repairs, the passengers got off the train and went to the nearby grocery store to grab some snacks while they waited. The repairs were made and Christian set off, but he felt very silly. "I'm very sorry," Christian said to his driver, fireman, Penny, and Kennedy. Don't worry about it, Christian," smiled his driver. "That's right," agreed Penny. "We all make mistakes, but the most important thing is that we learn from them," added Kennedy. Christian heartily agreed and remembered to always take care on unstable track from now on.